Welcome to Verbal Pig Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Now, as I stated once before, the name Cold Black represents the triple darkness of space in which the Creator created himself. Before the sun was placed in the sky, it was cold, and it was blackness that represented the triple stage darkness. Now, that is the essence in which our life was created from when God created himself. Then he put the sun in the sky. Then he created man in his image and after his likeness. But in 1943, they created a cartoon titled Cold Black and the Seven Dwarfs, which was spelled COALDLACK, and the seven, SEBEN, dwarfs. That was a reversal coming through the black female, because Cold Black played a black female who they over-sexualized. Put the split in the skirt, high heel shoes. That was one of the beginnings of creating the dynamic of what they call today as the thought. And they had Fats Muller, who was playing Fat Cat, who went to the Kitty Cat Club, which was spelled with all K's, Kitty Cat Club, with K's, which represented the establishment or a racist institution that we are under. Then they had him going to the Uncle Tom's Church, which was also created by the establishment or white supremacy, dealing with the church. They post the white Jesus in the churches to represent that this is an institution that was created by white supremacy. And then they had the alcoholism and the drugs. So Fat Cat was confused because he'd run to the white supremacist establishment. Then he'd run back to the Uncle Tom's Church. And this is all in the cartoon. He'd run back to the Uncle Tom's Church. Then he'd go back to the club and get drunk. It was said that by doing this, it would help create schizophrenia within the community. Now, the definition of schizophrenia, it says a long-term mental disorder of a type involving a breakdown in the relationship between thought, emotion, and behavior, leading to faulty perception, inappropriate actions and feelings, withdrawal from reality and personal relationships into fantasy and delusion, and a sense of mental fragmentation. In general use, a mentality or approach characterized by inconsistent or contradictory elements, meaning that you can't run to help or aid to a establishment that was created on racism and thinking you were going to get help. Then you couldn't run to a church system that was created out of white supremacy that was created during slavery. So the elements that were contradictory was you were contradicting yourself. You running from place to place looking for some peace or solace, but there was none. And they say by doing that, that would create schizophrenia within the black community. It was all a game. It was all done purposely and scientifically through media. Now, how do we set things back in motion? The masculine side, in which God created himself out of that cold blackness or that triple darkness of space before the sun was put in the sky. That means that the men has to set things back right, because they used the black female, who was the mother of all civilization, to bring forth a system to have you, to have her rather, dress in a way to where you would always have sex on your mind, because they knew the beauty of the body of the black female, and so they dress her in a way to where you couldn't focus on reality. You look at her and always be sexualized. Then they brought the booze in, and then you'd go to church seeking for aid, but you'd be staring up at the white Jesus, and you were supposed to be taught from the Bible, which would state things such as slave, obey your master, or turn the other cheek, or give your master your coat if he's cold. And so, going within that circle, the aim and the goal was to create schizophrenia within the community. And so we have to reverse that, or pay attention to what was purposely done, in order to change things back into the way it was meant to be. It is similar to the Willie Lynch letters, similar to all things that were done mentally and emotionally through your subconscious mind, of planting seeds of schizophrenia, or to get you to look outside of yourselves for help instead of looking within, because help comes from within. So we have to tackle a lot of issues, meaning that we can't continue to pass down something that was put on us by a system of white supremacy, pass that on to the next generation. Meaning we have to become aware of what we think, say, and do. Talking to Brother Tim, a pastor, who was saying he take a vow not to use the word nigger again. Not nagas, Nagas, but the word nigga or nigger. He said that, from studying up on that, that word needs to be gone. We can't call each other nigger and expect other folks not to use that same term. So you can tell that in the atmosphere, there's a system of rebuilding and consciousness that's on the horizon. So we got to continue to be steadfast in our actions and what we do, not only to protect ourselves, but to protect future generations. You can go check this out on U.S. slave racist cartoons. You can Google that, and it'll show the different cartoons or methods that they use in order to brainwash or subliminally send messages in hopes that we would act out in reality what we seen on the screen. This is Verbal Pick Radio, and we're out.